The Golden Globes went political yet again. Hi, my name is soliamechling. I'm a 17-year-old Christian conservative teen who boldly shares her beliefs online, so if you don't like it, tough. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about all the messiness and the drama that happened at the Golden Globes 2026. I'm going to be talking about this from my political conservative perspective and my Christian perspective. We're breaking down all the things, all the drama, all of the tea, so you guys better pack in, get your coffee, get your Alani, get your iced tea, whatever you need. This is going to be drama-packed and insane, so take a seat. At the 2026 Golden Globes, instead of just celebrating achievements and performances, we got another round of celebrity political messaging. Is that a shock to anyone?
No surprise in this godless town.
Anyway, this time centered around immigration and Trump because what else? Anyway, several celebrities like Ariana Grande and Mark Ruffalo were seen wearing pins that said "Ice Out" and "Be Good." These weren't fashion statements, they were political protest. Okay. Let's break this down. So the Be Good pin was for Renee Good. Let me talk about the Renee Good situation. If you did not know what happened, Renee Good used her vehicle to hit a federal ICE agent who was on the job during these protests. Renee Good was a person, a human being, and life, as a pro-lifer, life is worthy of our respect. That being said, she went in and impeded a federal worker, and she went against the law. She broke the law, and now this officer has internal bleeding, and unfortunately, she died because he shot her. But at the end of the day, yes, we can have sorrow in our heart for her and what happened, but at the end of the day, a law is a law, and she knew what she was doing by impeding and stopping these ICE agents from doing what they are supposed to be doing lawfully, okay? At the end of the day, here's my stance on ICE and immigration if you did not know previously. I don't get my ICE and immigration beliefs from the Bible. I get them from common sense and from the fact that my grandmother came here from Colombia legally and built her American dream. What happened to the Lake and Rileys? What happened to all of the young girls that had been sexually assaulted? What happened to all of the kids that have died from fentanyl and drugs that have been brought into this country because of illegal immigrants? I myself am Colombian, and I will be speaking about these topics because it's actually insane. We need a stronger border. We need stronger ICE agents. We need to crack down on this. Yes, people should be allowed into America. Yes, it should be easier to get a green card. We need to have those types of discussions. But at the end of the day, you cannot break the American law, and I will stand boldly by that. But no, apparently Ariana Grande and Mark Ruffalo don't want to do this. So I will show a clip of Mark Ruffalo saying, what he's talking about, and then we'll break that down.
This is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today. I know I'm one of them. I love this country, and what I'm seeing here happening is not America. It's just not.
Mark, why do you feel
Basically, he says, as an American citizen, he's so scared seeing what's going on, what happened to Renee Good. And to that, I have to ask Mark, who is a millionaire, do you have security with you? Because it clearly looks like you have security around you. Do you have borders around your house? Because I'm guessing you do. You're a celebrity. Well, if you don't believe in borders and you think everyone can be everywhere, why do you have security? Why do you have security at your house, most likely? It doesn't make sense here. But, he felt like he was making a stand by wearing a pin. At the end of the day, wearing a pin, what is that going to do? A lot of people have told me, well, it shows that they care. They care about what? They care about what? Exactly, I said it. They care about the fact that they want illegal immigrants to be able to come into this country illegally and to be able to get opportunities and take jobs away from American citizens. That's not okay. I'm not okay with that. Come into this country legally, but do not come to this country illegally. Mark Ruffalo, who is an American citizen, should have his interests lie in the American public. The fact that people can't make ends meet, that needs to be talked about. The fact that our veterans are homeless, that needs to be talked about. There's so many other issues here. And yes, I understand that this is a pressing issue, and I don't want anybody to be hurt or murdered by this, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we have to crack down on this because no good country does not have borders. You need to have laws in order to not have chaos, but let's continue with the craziness going on here. Ariana Grande wore the Ice Out pin. I will insert a photo here. Basically, again, like I said, to make a political statement, but at the end of the day, Ariana Grande is a billionaire who has security with her and, who has had a bunch of interactions where she needs security. And I don't understand what Ariana Grande thinks about this. You know, I guess she's a woman, but she really does not care about what has happened to American women because of illegal immigrants and the fact that they have been sexually assaulted and murdered. I guess that thought doesn't cross Ariana Grande's mind. I guess she just doesn't care about those people. But no, she chose to make a political statement at the Golden Globes. It's like, if you're going to make a political statement, at least put a little story about it. You're a celebrity. It seems, they're trying to get into this politics, and I understand that if you have your beliefs and you feel like you want to say things, but you are millionaires and billionaires with security teams and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, it doesn't make sense to me. Also, let's point out the irony of the fact that the Golden Globes is heavily has tons of security around it. It's very exclusive. You can hardly get in. There's security and perimeters all around to make sure that the people inside of it are protected and that people on the outside do not get in to harm the people on the inside. Let's flip that around. Why do we have borders in America? To protect people on the inside and to not let people on the outside hurt people on the inside. This is the exact same thing. Well, if you really don't want borders and you really want, illegal immigrants to be able to go wherever they please, then why do you have security at the Golden Globes? Why not let everybody in? Why not show the same inclusivity to everyone? Why not give opportunities to people that never would have it? No, that's not how it works. Okay. Let's talk about the fact of Nikki Glasser. Now, I don't exactly like her. She's had her things. She said some things that I don't like. But she really came out full force in 2026. Let's play some of her clips.
And the award for most editing goes to CBS News. Yes. CBS News, America's newest place to see BS News.
Did you hear that? Hardly anybody was clapping for the fact that she said CBS News is BS News. The most iconic sentence ever. And even she's saying it, and people still just don't want to accept it, don't want to accept the fact that the media lies to you, the legacy media lies to you. They edit things, they clip things, they take things out of context, and this is on both sides. This is on both sides to push a narrative, and it's absolutely unacceptable in the age of 2026 when we all have social media and we can communicate with each other. But that's not the only thing she said.
I cannot believe the amount of star power we have in this room tonight. It's insane. There's so many A-listers. And by A-listers, I do mean people who are on A-list that has been heavily redacted, but
she has come out with a wrecking ball. Did you see that guy's face? This is absolutely insane. And the amount of gasps and oohs and ahs that, did she actually just say that? Yes, she actually said that. And on the topic, I'm ranting today, but on the topic of the Epstein files, the fact that pretty much all of it is redacted is absolutely insane. People will say Donald Trump is in it, this is in it, this is it. I genuinely don't care who is in it. Release the files. There's children on there, there's victims on there, and they deserve to have that closure. They deserve to have their stories and their voices heard. But no, because of elitists, because of people that are in this community that have way too much power, they get to silence their voices, they get to silence their stories, and that is absolutely unacceptable. And good on Nikki Glasser for calling that out. Anyway, the amount of insanity that was going on there and back and forth is just insane. So I want to finish with a few closing little things. At this point, it raises a real question. If Hollywood keeps turning award shows into political messaging sessions, are people going to keep tuning in, or are they just going to completely tune out? Is it the fact that these celebrities are too out of touch, or do people really love their political messaging? Back in the day, I feel like Hollywood was way more classy. People cared a lot more, and sure, that could have been just all a sham. But these are billion-dollar people, million-dollar people that try to relate to the American people not being able to have ends meet, not being able to get the opportunities they need to, being in debt for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They can't relate to people. This is almost as bad as when Selena Gomez was crying about the fact that her people, she feels so heartbroken for her people. I'll play the clip.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't.
Her people, she was born in America. Yes, she's Mexican, you know, understandable, but she has profited off of a freedom and capitalist society, made her millions, billions of dollars on this. Why doesn't she give her money away? Why doesn't she let people come stay with her? And I understand that these are like unrealistic questions. I'm not actually expecting these celebrities to have people come live with them because of security issues. I understand that. But you protect things that you love. Of course we want to protect America because we love America and the American citizens, or at least we should. This is out of touch celebrities. People that are making way above you, telling you how to think and act, because if you don't fit into their narrative, then you're not a good person. You're not an empathetic person for standing up for common sense. I will not allow drugs, trafficking, murder of innocent American girls. I will not stand idly by. I myself am part Colombian, and I will talk about these things because at the end of the day, I was an American citizen. I was born in America. I was given the opportunities of this capitalist and freedom society that my grandmother fought so hard to get here. And once she got here, she built her American dream and gave that for me and my family. And I will forever be grateful for that. And I understand why people want to come here for a better life. And if we want to talk about how to get a green card easier, understandable. Completely understandable. But this, basically telling people that Renee Good is some sort of victim, basically saying that these people that are coming illegally into our country are victims, I feel bad for these people, I do. But at the end of the day, I feel worse for the American people being murdered by them, having fentanyl overdoses by them. And it does happen. They try to tell you it doesn't. It does happen, unfortunately. And, you know, I am a Christian, and like I said previously, I don't get my I don't get my immigration beliefs from the Bible. And a lot of people will say, well, Celia, you're a Christian. You have to love everybody. Why don't you love them? I mean, you would have called ice on Jesus. And to that I have to say, yes, I do love everybody. But God flipped tables. He called people out. He called the Pharisees, you brood of vipers. Jesus was not somebody that just laid down and didn't fight and didn't talk about the truth. Do you think Jesus would be okay with those young girls getting sexually assaulted, with the young people dying and drugs coming in there? No. Like I'm saying, I don't think we should treat people from different countries horribly. I think we need to safely and efficiently return them back to the countries that they've come. We don't need to be hurting anyone if we can help it. We don't need to be assaulting anyone if we can help it. We don't need to tear families apart if we can help it. But at the end of the day, that is what needs to be done. And so if me being a good person relies on if I'm willing to stand for truth or not, then I guess I'm not a good person. You know, none of us are good people at the end of the day, though, because we're all corrupt with sin. But Jesus was able to love people and still call them out. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the woman at the well, Jesus loved her so much, and yet he called her out of her sexual sin because she was cheating with her husband. Don't you think Jesus would do the same? Love your neighbor as yourself, but also call your neighbor out. And we're all subject to judgment. We are not perfect. We're all sinners. But at the end of the day, you need to protect people. The Bible has told countless stories of people protecting themselves, of people protecting the things they love and the country that they love. That's in the Bible everywhere, even though immigration maybe not be in the Bible. And if you're talking about the fact that you would have called ICE on Jesus because he was an illegal immigrant, Jesus was not an illegal immigrant. The entire policies and systems they had back in the day were completely different. Jesus was not an illegal immigrant. He was a traveler. He was an immigrant. He did not enter any country illegally. And if you can give me any proof of that, I would love to hear that. Anyway, I know I had a big spiel about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And tell me what you guys think, if you liked this episode, if you didn't like this episode. And as always, we'll be back next Wednesday with another video.